Okay, so when you picture the Ambassador Bridge connecting Detroit, Michigan to Windsor, Ontario, what comes to mind? Probably cars, right? I mean, it's the main artery for the entire North American auto industry. But if you look closer at that constant stream of trucks, you'll realize they're hauling something, well, completely different. It's actually the world's busiest garbage route. 3.46 million tons. Let that number sink in for a second. That's how much Canadian municipal solid waste, we're talking literal garbage, crosses that bridge into Michigan every single year. It's a fleet of trucks that basically never stops. So you have to ask, how did this happen? How did something that's supposed to be out of sight, out of mind, become a massive geopolitical flashpoint? We're talking a full-blown trade war and even a constitutional crisis, all because of trash. Okay, let's get into it. So here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll look at how this huge international conflict over garbage even started. Then, we're going to dive into the incredible tech solution that came out of all that chaos, how an AI is literally refining waste, and how data is changing the entire game. All right, so to really get the crisis, you first have to understand the absolutely bizarre economics that created this flow of trash. I mean, why would anyone drive a truck full of old coffee grounds and cardboard boxes across an international border? Well, the answer, as it often is simple: money. Now just look at this chart. For years, the state tipping fee in Michigan, that's the fee to dump a ton of waste, was just 36 cents. 36 cents. Now compare that to Ontario, where it costs over $100 a ton to develop new landfill space. This created what the industry called the Michigan lure. It was just so ridiculously cheap that it made perfect financial sense for Ontario to literally export almost a third of its garbage. And for decades, this kind of crazy relationship actually worked out. Michigan landfills got a steady stream of revenue, and Ontario got a cheap and easy way to get rid of its trash. But then politics got involved, and the entire system came under attack from two different directions all at the same time. So check out this pincer movement. On the federal side, the Trump administration used a pretty clever technicality in the new trade deal that replaced NAFTA. They started auditing trucks, found things like broken electronics made in China, and said, aha, this load wasn't wholly obtained in Canada. They called it transshipped global waste and threatened a crippling 40% penalty. At the exact same time, Michigan's Governor Whitmer tried to just kill the incentive altogether with a massive 1,288% fee hike. But because the U.S. Constitution's Commerce Clause says states can't discriminate against foreign goods, that tax got stuck. The takeaway here is this entire supply chain was suddenly on the verge of total collapse. So what happens when your main disposal route is about to get completely cut off? Well, Ontario businesses were facing a genuine crisis. And that kind of pressure, it doesn't just create problems, it forces you to innovate. Out of this huge macro-level chaos, an incredible new way of thinking about waste started to emerge, all driven by data and AI. And the core idea is, it's just so simple, but so powerful. Think about it. You would never pour raw crude oil straight out of the ground into your car, right? You'd wreck the engine. It has to be refined first. Well, this new approach from a company called 905 Wood applies that exact same logic to construction waste. It's not trash anymore, it's a feedstock, just waiting to be purified. And this quote just nails the shift in mindset, doesn't it? It's not about hauling and dumping anymore. It's about taking this messy, unpredictable input, like a bunch of wood from a demolition site, and using some really smart tech to turn it into something precise, something verifiable, and something valuable. So, how do you actually refine garbage? I mean, really, how does that work? Well, it's not a factory with smokestacks. This refinery is pure software. It's a powerful compliance engine that uses layers of technology to absolutely guarantee the quality of the material. Okay, so let's walk through how this thing actually works. It starts right on the job site. A worker just uses a regular smartphone with a powerful AI model called Gemini to visually scan a load of wood. It instantly flags anything that looks suspicious, like painted or pressure-treated lumber. But that's just the first check. The truck then drives to a central hub for what they call the search for truth. This is where it gets serious. X-ray fluorescent sensors do a chemical analysis at the atomic level, looking for invisible poisons like arsenic. That hard data then gets fed into another AI system that acts like a digital lawyer, instantly checking the chemical results against the exact text of environmental laws. And boom, the system automatically spits out a bulletproof, audit-ready PDF certificate. And this is the absolute game changer.
The system doesn't just give you a thumbs up or thumbs down. It achieves something called explainable compliance. It automatically writes out a formal legal citation telling the user exactly why the load failed and the specific line of the law it violated. It takes all the human guesswork, all the "I think this is okay," right out of hazardous waste management.
So the engine behind all this is a really impressive tech stack. You've got Vertex AI training the models, Gemini running them right on the phone, and those XRF sensors providing the absolute ground truth. But the secret sauce is really AlloyDB AI. See, it doesn't just search for keywords. It does what's called a vector search. Think of it like a chemical fingerprint. The system can compare the unique fingerprint of a wood sample to this huge library of known contaminants and find a match with incredible speed. We're talking up to 10 times faster than a standard database. And that speed is what makes this whole real-time model even possible. So, okay, you've built this amazing compliance engine. That's great. But how in the world do you get a super busy, stressed out construction contractor to actually use it and sort their waste the right way? Well, you hit them where it hurts, their wallet, and you do it using some pretty brilliant behavioral economics. Okay, so traditionally waste billing is just a black box, right? You get one flat rate on your invoice, like $460 for debris removal, and you have no clue what you're actually paying for. The new model, on the right, completely decouples the bill. It separates the cost of the truck and the driver from the disposal levy. It makes the tax, the potential point of pain, totally transparent. And this taps directly into a really core part of human psychology called loss aversion. We are all hardwired to feel the sting of losing money way more intensely, about twice as intensely, as the pleasure of gaining the same amount. So that transparent levy on the invoice, it's designed to feel like a loss that you're just about to take. And this is the aha moment. When the AI and the sensors confirm that your load is 100% clean, that levy line item on your invoice updates in real time. It just drops, bam, from $110 straight to zero. Suddenly, it's not just an invoice, it's a report card. It's a game you just won, with an immediate cash reward for doing the right thing. This simple change in billing literally gamifies compliance and can change behavior almost overnight. So by combining this advanced tech with some clever psychology, the system completely transforms human behavior. But the final, and maybe the most powerful transformation, is what it does to the waste itself. The system creates what the developers call the time machine. Using a tool called Vertex ML Metadata, it acts like a digital notary public. Every single compliance decision is cryptographically frozen in time, locked to three things: the exact AI model version that was used, the specific training data it was running on, and the precise sensor readings and legal texts that were active at that exact millisecond. So if an auditor asks you 3 years from now why a load was approved, you can show them a perfect, unarguable digital record. I mean, this quote just says it all, doesn't it? You're not just selling wood anymore. You're selling the certainty that's attached to that wood. You're turning physical dust into a high-value data asset. So let's be crystal clear about what's really happened here. We've gone from a geopolitical crisis over a physical liability, tons of garbage, to a system that creates a verifiable digital asset. And this isn't just about wood, right? This is a blueprint for any industry that deals with complex materials and regulations. It proves you can build trust and create value in any supply chain by giving a physical product a bulletproof digital passport. That clean wood waste, it's now a valuable feedstock or even a tradable carbon credit. It's just a radical shift in thinking, and it all started because of a trade war over trash crossing a bridge. It proves that if you have the right data and the right incentives, you can find value almost anywhere. Which, it leaves us with one last thought. If trash is the new crude oil, what other so-called waste is just sitting out there waiting to be refined?